Welcome to the Tolleson-Mack podcast. We're still here at the Prescott Rodeo. 136 years this thing's been rocking and rolling. But look who we got here. Right beside me, Clay Cherry. Yep, that's what I said, Mr. College National Finalist. Let's talk a little bit about him. What you know about him, Cesar?
Man, I've known him for a long time. I've known his grandpa and his dad, and I've been a fan of his roping for a long time. The last couple years, he's done really good, and I've kind of taken a notice. And shoot, this last year, he wiped the floor with them in the region over here, the Grand Canyon region.
Is that like the AMI rodeos, like the amateur rodeos?
No,
what is that?
Just the colleges have different regions, you know what I mean? And this is the Grand Canyon region.
Oh, okay.
Texas has a region and stuff, but they did really good, man. Logan Cullen was his partner, and shoot, I got to help him out and kind of go watch him and coach him a little bit. I live right next to Central Arizona College.
Okay.
I'm about a mile away is all, and so I got to kind of, it's been pretty cool watching these guys rope a little bit, and kind of the next generation of ropers. And we talked about it. They got great attitudes, man. They rope good. They're learning to control their minds, and that's where the game is going to evolve a little bit.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like talking to him and then talking to Kincaid, like, wow, I'm just really impressed by like you said it a bunch before. Like you got to have the dog in you. You got to have the dog in you to go down the road. These two dudes, they got the dog in them. And how old are you?
21.
21. Wow. Yeah. Because I watched the team roping on the Cowboy Channel last night, and I thought, man, I don't know about those steers. Like those, they're all right, but it's pro rodeo. And so I asked him when he sat down, I said, what'd you think about the steers? He says, they look fun to me. they don't give a shit. So
is that why you having a lot of fun out here rodeoing?
Yeah.
That's what you're to do right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's what I've done since I was little, It's all I've ever known, and I couldn't be doing anything better, It's awesome.
What do you think about Prescott?
Man, this is one heck of a rodeo, It's one of a kind, obviously.
Right.
How it's set up, and, the steers look like a good challenge. They look like fun, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, yeah, this is one heck of a rodeo.
And explain maybe to the listeners the coming out of the same side.
Yeah, I mean, this is, other than a couple jackpots they put on based off this rodeo, it's the only one like it, you know what I mean? And it's definitely an adjustment, but...
And you guys both come out of the healing box. I think I seen last night, like, they put a pad in there to split you guys or something?
Yeah.
Or is it like two boxes?
Yeah, there's a bar and a pad on it, yeah.
Okay, I seen, like, the Wrangler pad, and it looked like it was split. But, I mean, is that a advantage, disadvantage? Do you guys look forward to it? Do you practice for it? I mean...
And, last year, I'm roping on the same kid I did last year here, and I rode my good head horse we practiced at the house. He hated it. And I got a roan horse that I heel on, and I tried her out, and she's used to that side a lot. So I gave it a shot, and she worked awesome last year. So I brought her back this year, and she's good for that setup.
Yeah, we talk a lot about the horsepower, especially, Cesar talks about the horsepower. But we were talking to the guy before about changing horses and getting moved around and things like that. But that's pretty cool that, hey, man, I took my head horse there last year, and he ain't vibing on that side.
Yeah.
So we better switch it up a little
bit. Yeah,
bit.
we tried it at the house, and he was not digging it. So I figured I'd give my heel horse is a little bigger, and she's great to head on. So I tried it, and she worked awesome. So that's who I brought this year.
That's cool. That's cool. Do you guys know your draw yet, or
not yet? I'm gonna probably head over after this and look at it and see what we got. But like here, you never know.
Yeah.
Like you can look at the steer, you still have no idea what he's gonna be.
Yeah.
Where'd you come from?
And I left Big Piney, Wyoming yesterday afternoon. Drove all night and made it here this morning.
Wow. How many hours?
Oh, I had to go to Twin Falls to pick up a horse, and then it was probably about 15 total.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who'd you see in Twin Falls?
Nobody. One person. I grabbed a horse.
So you've seen half the population, though.
Yeah. And then driving down through Nevada, I saw maybe one person the whole way.
Yeah. It's pretty hard, too, probably, because you're tired. And
oh, yeah.
A little bit of traffic might have helped, huh?
Yeah, like usually when you're driving, you're tired, you want to see something. There's nothing to see out there.
There's nothing. So where do you go after this?
Man, I'm headed back to West Jordan tomorrow, and then we're entered in 4 or 5 amateur rodeos the next 4 or 5 days, and all in Utah there.
So are you running one rig?
Yeah, I came by myself. The kid I'm roping with up there stayed up there, so we'll meet up in Utah and go together from there.
will you change partners a bunch throughout the year, or just kind of, or on this weekend because there's so much?
Yeah, I got the partner I'm roping with down here. His name's Sam Garside. He's a great friend of mine. He ropes really good, and he was down here, so we entered. And then the kid I'm roping with up there is from Wyoming, Ari Espenshide. So we're gonna rodeo a bunch when I get back up there.
Okay. So before we get away from this and I forget about it, is there any coaching in your future, Cesar?
Man, I don't know. I like it.
If you want my
I've been
vote.
doing a lot of roping lessons and stuff, and I really enjoy it. I've studied film so much, and my Uncle George, he taught me how to study film when I was a kid, about little things, about what your hands are doing, so I could spot little things that a person's doing wrong. And if a person just kind of gets on the right track and starts doing just the basics right, it'll make your roping so much better. I think people get in trouble and trying to go too fast and then you got to slow down to be fast in this game. You still there's an element of control when you're 3.6 or 3.5 or whatever. Like I really enjoy it. Like I said, I think I'm going to do it a lot.
Do you think people trying to go fast is the biggest problem as a roper comes from a 3 to 4 to 5 as they work their way up, maybe and end up roping here someday? I mean, is that the major problem you see, or is it more like some guys rope with their wallet more than with their arm?
Man, nowadays, like Steph Curry changed the basketball game. Like he can shoot it from half court. Like nowhere is safe. And when you're in the basketball court, nowhere is safe when that guy is around. And he changed the game, And I think the young guys now, they're taking 3-point shots all the time. Not necessarily here, because this is more of a cowboy setup over here. You got your cowboy instincts has to take play. A 6-second run is going to be really good over here. But if a guy goes to Oakley City, Utah, which a lot of guys are going to tomorrow, you're gonna have to be 3.8. You know what I mean? So it changes a lot, and it's just this roping game is changing, man. Like I said, these guys are taking some aggressive shots, and I've watched Clay grow up roping, and these guys are learning how to rope faster, and getting to go spend some time with him over there at the college and watching him rope with his partner and stuff. He shows up with 3 really nice horses, man, and he rides them right, and he's making an effort to get better all the time, and that's what you got to do. I mean, talent's only going to take you so far nowadays. You got to put in a lot of hard work.
Right. Hard work beats talent when talent don't work hard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many horses do you ride to kind of make it down the road in an average season? How many different horses will you ride?
And right now, like the horse I usually ride at all the rodeos I left at my home, that's my good one. I got that roan that I'm riding here, and I got another one that's 5 or 6 that's coming along really good, and then a couple practice horses, and you got to have them, I mean, if you don't have horsepower, you're getting left in the dust,
right.
You know what I mean?
That 5 or 6 year old that you're taking around maybe to get a little season, like walk us through that process. How do you bring that horse to rodeos like this and leave him at the trailer so you can hear the loud music, or how does all that?
Yeah, like I left him in Wyoming just because I didn't want to haul him down, just traveling, you know. But that's great about Wyoming. Like they got the Jackson Hole Rodeo 3 times a week. Cody, that's a perfect place to go.
We were just talking about it.
That horse, he's gonna be good, but jackpotting and rodeoing on one end seasoning is way different. So taking him to those, it's gonna be great for him this summer. Yeah.
And that's kind of how you get them seasoned, get them.
Yeah, you gotta take those, because if you're gonna show up and go to like the Cody Big Rodeo, you know what I mean, and go against Caleb Drigger and those guys, they're on their best ones. You need to be on your best one too. You go slip off and go to the Jackson Hole rodeos and stuff, and then you leave the young or the older one that you've been riding, let him relax, ride the younger one.
Let him chill out a little bit.
Yeah. And so it's a good. He's smart, Like these young guys. We talked to a couple of these young guys today. And they're just really smart, real knowledgeable.
I like the aggressive attitude.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's
3-point shooters, dude.
That's what I like. I mean, and it makes for not only doing this, but just being a fan. It makes it fun to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes it fun to watch when, like when this guy used to back in the box. I mean, his hat was stuck down tight. I mean, he looked like a bull rider. It was like the first time I kind of see him, I was like, oh, dude, this guy's got to be an all-around guy because this dude looks like he'll spur one down.
I'm a bull rider at heart.
You know what I mean? And and that's the same thing when I watch you guys. It's like that aggressive attitude, like I'm here to eat.
Yeah.
And like, you know.
Who'd you model your style off of? Would you say growing up? Who'd you watch that kind of molded you?
Man, I try to watch everybody, you know, soak in as much as I can. There's some guys like Dustin. He seems like he's going for it every time.
Yeah.
And then one guy I think that is unbeatable a lot is Chad Masters. Like, unreal how consistent he is, and that's one guy that can do it and still do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he is consistent. Like if you watch his runs, like you go down the Cowboy Channel, 15 different rodeos. You watch Chad Masters. Seems like every run is the same.
Yeah.
And he's been around it long enough. He's had to adjust, like you said.
Dude, he's been
It's a different
early
ball game
2000s, man. He's
yeah.
been out here for 20 plus years.
It was a different ball game back then, and now he can still do it. You know what I mean?
How many times has that guy made it? You guys think?
Chad, I want to say around 20 or 18, something like that. It's well up there, man.
Yeah, that's crazy because he does. He kind of has the same run every single time, unless his back's against the wall, and then it seems like it changes up a little bit. You know what I mean? Like he knows where he needs to be.
Similar to Clay Trying, kind of.
Yeah.
He slows down to be fast.
Right.
He sets the run up.
Yeah.
That's the healer. That's Clay does a good job setting his healer up to let his healer throw fast.
Man.
It's something that if the header can control the run enough where he can still reach, set the steer up to throw fast, that team is unbeatable, man.
That's another header that's
Yeah.
legit. It's Clay trying.
Yeah.
That dude.
Well, I mean,
that dude's bad.
he's the headness. Money one. He's the headness best header that ever lived.
And isn't he like a point guard? Didn't he play basketball?
Plays basketball really good.
Yeah, plays basketball really good. I heard that somewhere that the dude's like a badass.
He's my
basketball.
brother-in-law.
Oh well, then
Yeah, I've been around him quite a bit. Yeah, he balls pretty good.
he can dunk on you.
Man, I don't know if he can dunk, but I know he can cross you over and take a jump shot. He's got a pretty good fadeaway, I know.
Yeah.
Speaking of sports, what'd you play? Did you play any sports other than?
And I tried to play basketball, but I figured out I wasn't getting any taller than 5'10", so I started roping a little more, you know. That was back in junior high. But,
Where'd you go to high school and stuff?
I went to junior high in Casa Grande there. And then I think halfway through my freshman year of high school, I started homeschooling and just roped every day.
A lot of guys homeschool, huh?
Yeah.
Well, the rodeo guys, they travel a lot. And I remember going in high school, I got in trouble quite a bit for missing Fridays. You know what I mean? You're going to miss days to go to rodeos and go to jackpots. And I was always in trouble. You know what I mean? Going to
I
school
remember when my daughter was running barrels when she was young. Like the school finally called me and they're like, she can't have a doctor's appointment every Friday, and if she does, we need to see some paperwork to make sure she's not dying or something. You know?
But in junior high, my mom, they used to send letters in the mail wondering where I was, and my mom was like, "We're rodeoing."
But I mean, if you think about it, I mean, if this is what he's gonna do, I mean, that's his college, that's his job. You know, I mean, that's what you're gonna do. You know,
I don't think there's any better lifestyle for a young guy like that to travel and just travel the country. You know what I mean? A guy understands that the world is a big place. You know, like I went to Perry, Georgia. I've never been to Georgia just a couple weeks ago. It's like, man, the traveling a person does to rodeo. I like travel. I think it's neat. You know, like a different place every day is kind of cool.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
You like traveling?
Oh yeah, I mean, I love it.
You love it?
Drove by myself all night last night. It was a
Just
fun
don't
time.
even bother you.
Saw a couple of new places.
That's
and
cool.
Yeah.
You can't
That's
beat
what I
it.
mean, man. This
That's all
attitude
about.
these guys got is just, I love it.
That's why I think the game is evolving, changing, man. The mentality, the brain, you know, they're using their heads a lot more and not beating themselves up as bad and accepting it. You know, we got a bad steer. Oh well, I'm gonna make the best run I can, or I got to drive all night. Oh well, I'm just gonna drive all night.
Yeah. Play the hand you're dealt.
Yeah.
You're going to be a good card player when you get to Vegas. You just play the hand you're dealt.
Yeah.
Do you have any sponsors other than Classic, or how's
Yeah.
that work?
I mean, I kind of ran out of clean shirts.
Yeah.
But, best ever
Okay.
pads. That's a great
love
company,
it.
obviously. And then there's a guy from Casa Grande, Carlos Gomez, that has helped me out tremendously. I mean, he's like my second dad, and he'd do anything for me, you know, and awesome guy. Yeah.
That's cool.
He helps you get down the road and
Yeah.
all that good stuff.
Yeah.
What does he do?
and just he's got a few horses that I ride. Like I got a practice horse of his that he can't. You need those, you know, just to get runs and just with, you know, fuel, fees, and just if I needed anything, that's the guy I'd call right after my parents, you know.
You call him. That's pretty cool, man. That's neat to have some guys like that around, and guys that want to support the rodeo game. And I mean, a guy with your attitude, that I never have a problem helping out, because I think that that's what this game needs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The guy that just has the natural ability to go out there and rope some steers and whatever, you know, like his, you know, what they ride their mom and dad's wallet, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
Those guys don't excite me very much.
Yeah.
But somebody that's like, yeah, I drove 15 hours, seen one car, but I wanted to come here and rope.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty bitching.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so you got my vote. I like it. So what, we talked about where you're going next. What do you think you want to do? And I always ask everybody, and it's kind of hard for you guys to answer because you're in the 20s, but what do you want to do after rodeo? Like, have you even thought about that? Or?
I didn't think about that at all when I was young, you know what I mean? But
I like that too.
You know, but
it's kind of, a lot of guys have the mentality like, this is what I want to do, and it's a good idea to have a plan B, you know. But heck, I'm gonna ride
when you're 21, dude. Just live this dream. It's pretty fun.
I mean, this guy can probably vouch for me. I never had a plan B until I needed a plan B.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? You know, once I needed a plan B, I had to figure it out.
And I, like, always growing up, you know, people ask, what do you want to do when you get older? I don't have much to say other than rodeo. Sometimes they look at you weird, but that's all I ever said.
Did you do any other events? You rope calves or
I tried.
ride bucking horses or anything?
I tried to rope calves.
Did you?
Kind of went like my basketball career. So.
No bueno.
No.
No bueno. Was that the horsepower, or just didn't want to? Just weren't feeling it.
You know, I'd go practice once before the rodeo. Nothing like team roping. Like every day I'm out there calf roping. I just kind of winged it, you know.
Yeah.
But didn't excite me near as much as team roping.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
So Cesar, living so close to that college there, and these guys being around that stuff, do you kind of feel, I don't want to say obligated, but I mean, this game's been really well to you. It's done a lot for you. It's doing a lot for your kids. Do you feel good when you go over there and help these guys? Does it give you like a certain feeling inside?
I feel like I just kind of want to give back a little bit to the game. That it give me everything. You know, my wife, my lifestyle, everything is because of rodeo.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can spread my knowledge and help these younger guys, mostly with talking them off the ledge a little bit, like, hey, you know, I mean, just stay hooked, keep your mind focused. But I like, you know, helping the next generation. I really do. I feel like that's my calling. I didn't think about what I was going to do after rodeo very much, and then when it finally got to the point where I felt like I need to be home with my boys more, man, I felt like that was my calling, is to help the next generation or help the older guys or women that want to get better in their roping. Yeah. If you have the try, in my eyes, if you have the try to want to get better, I can help you. You know what I mean? But if you're not going to get out there and practice and work at it, you're not getting no better.
And nobody is. Doesn't matter the sport, right?
Right.
Yeah. Do you work on your mental game? Like, we have a lot of people that come on that say they have a mental game coach or somebody maybe they can just call, right? It doesn't have to be I guess Brandon's my mental game coach. I mean, I call him all the time, and maybe I bounce stuff off of him that I already know the answer to, but I just need to bounce it off of somebody.
Yeah. Always checking me.
Or yeah, sometimes I gotta call him and say, hey, what are you doing over there?
That has probably been one of the biggest parts of my roping is my mental game. Like through high school, you know, I knew I could do it. Just it took me a while to get, and I still every once in a while, you know, you just gotta get in there and realize that you put in the work and you can do it. And that's the biggest thing probably with me is like, I know I can do it. I just got to go in there and get it done. And like this summer, we're going to a bunch of amateur rodeos, and they're not as much. I'd say pressure is going to a pro rodeo. So it's been great for me. Just back in, not as much pressure. Just go do what I know to do, and it's helping out a bunch.
Just go rope.
Yeah, just go rope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're roping at the house, but you're roping in front of this many
Yeah.
people probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to let you know that, like, the header is the quarterback of the team. The success of the team relies on the header to make the right decision for the team. I don't care how good a healer heals. If you don't have that header to turn in some steers, he's not going to win very much. And so, like, finding a partner like Clay here, a young guy that's craving it, wanting to go and get better, man, I think this guy has a bright future. I think he has a chance to make the finals and do great things. There's always in Arizona, there's always a few kids always come from Arizona that successful, and I think this guy's going to do really good. But I think his mental side, I've always, ever since he's a little kid, he's always been laid back, just happy go lucky. And you have to have that mentality. You have to be, if you make a mistake, you have to be just like, all right, I made a mistake. This is where I made a mistake, and be ready tomorrow.
Just get up and go to the next one.
Yeah.
And that's kind of your attitude, huh?
Yeah, like I went through a couple phases, I'd get mad, but you just got to realize that if you put in the work, you just got to let it run.
Like the law of averages.
Yeah, if you have a couple rough weeks, it is what it is. It's rodeo.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, man, we sure appreciate you coming on. This Loud Rodeo is about ready to start behind us.
Yeah.
We're wishing you all the luck. We're going to
Thank
stand
you.
here and watch you in the team roping.
Thank you.
Good luck, and thanks everybody for listening.